Good morning. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk. And my name is Lena Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimension. As always, when all my videos are live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Good morning. Happy Monday. How are we doing today? My voice is still making its way back. As many of you know, as I mentioned, I was at a hockey tournament over the weekend. So I had 3 days of hockey. It was absolutely wonderful. However, I wasn't able to keep my mouth shut all the time. So with a little bit of cheering, I probably set myself back a little bit. I was fairly well behaved though, as far as how my normal hollering goes. I was mindful that I needed to protect that voice. So a couple of big loud cheers during each game. The team did really well. Many of you have been reaching out asking how we did. They made it to the semifinals and played extremely hard and extremely well, and supported each other at a level that was just over the top. The love and support that they gave each other, it was incredible to see and witness and be a part of. So I love, love, love that so much. As most of you know, I do love the youth energy. Those teenage girls were just exceptional to be around. I just love it so much. Welcome to December 1st, and I've got like so much to talk about here, and then I will grab some questions from y'all. So here we are, December 1st, and all of a sudden we're getting closer to the end of the year. Um, we are exactly a month away from New Year's into 2026. I just want to give a bit of a backstory here on 2025 energy. It was always about endings. The numerology of 2025 was always about endings and closure. And I think we've been through a lot of that, a lot of the endings of things and shifts. We've seen that in 2025. This full moon, it coming in on December 4th, is a very, very interesting full moon. It is our third and final. Super moon. We've had three in a row. This will be the third one in a row. So it's like the energy of the universe pushing us into that third and final opportunity with our endings. What needs to end and what do we need to kind of like clear up? It almost feels like a New Year's Eve energy is what we're kind of navigating through for most of December. I feel like it's going to be about closure. It's going to be about endings because 2026, and I will do an extended energy update for 2026. But I'll give you a bit of just a bit of a sneak peek of that. 2026 is going to be a lot of new beginnings. So, what do we want to clear up and release before we enter into 2026? We've got a month to think about that. And this full moon that is coming is asking us what feels too heavy to carry any longer and to be able to find ways of letting that go, setting some intentions to release, asking for guidance, so, some forgiveness energy, whether it be self-forgiveness or forgiveness of others. The energy of love is flowing at a very, very, very high frequency about loving ourselves through this letting go process. What is too heavy to carry any longer? And sometimes we don't get closure. I get that, you guys. We may not always get the answers. We may not always know the whys, but what do we want to kind of leave here? Letting go, looking at the lessons. What did it teach me? What did it teach me is going to be a big thing. The emotional part this week is going to be very, very high. It's going to be a very, very high emotional vibration this week, and that's going to trickle into a lot of things. Emotional, both ends, both the really high, the really hyper. You may find animation energy very, very much around you, or you're feeling quite animated. Or it may flow into the other way where it feels more on the emotional side, or it may be presenting as a lot of sadness. Sleep issues are going to present for the next week or two as well. Restlessness. There's going to be a restlessness that's going to be going on. And some of that may come to you as feeling an amazing restlessness, like this extended energy, or a zapped feeling. It may have that I feel zapped. I feel like I need to sit. I feel like I need to just nurture and I feel like I need to be gentle. And however you're feeling it, just allow yourself to move through it. It's also going to feel heightened. So bigger than big things may be presented as bigger than what it really is because it's a huge, huge holler of taking a look of what we no longer want to navigate. Relationships are also on the table this week, and that is all relationships, whether it be intimate relationships, friendships, family stuff. There's a clearing that's coming in through again with people that we love. And and kind of looking at it from staying in my own lane, supportive yet not in their lane. Boundaries are going to be coming up this week as well. Relationships are going to be, and it does make sense. If we're experiencing something, and whether it be a heightened energy or a releasing energy or what is too heavy energy, the people around us are also going through that. You may be really high in this vibration and somebody else is feeling zapped in this vibration, and you may have a hard time connecting. You may find that people aren't answering your texts or perhaps are a little slow getting back or they're emotional too. So keeping that in perspective, we're kind of all navigating through this. Now, I also want to talk about the whole self-love piece because I think, and I know we talk about that a lot here on the channel, but it's extremely important that you love yourself through these things. It's easy when it's easy, right? It's easy. It's easy when it's easy. But when we navigate through those hard points, we get hard on ourselves. So being able to give yourself, I'll give you just a few little mantras or things to lean on here is I really did my best with in 2025. I truly did. It didn't go as smooth. I didn't get all the outcomes, but I showed up and did my best, the best that I could from where I was standing at that point in time during 2025. It's been a lot in 2025. There has been a lot. We're also have been shown a lot in 2025. We've been shown where we need to make changes. We've been shown the different directions. I also want you guys to remember that you can always lean into spirit, leaning into your spirit guides, leaning into your loved ones in the spirit dimension, your own spirituality, and whatever that means to you. The word spiritual is a big, big umbrella. A lot of things fall under there, but it's whatever it means to you. How can you support yourself as you navigate these endings, as you kind of clear some space for the new beginnings and decide what you no longer want to carry and being able to look at it from a point of love, knowledge that, yeah, I did myself. I did the best that I could for everything that was around, and being able to lean into that a little bit at a little bit of a different level. Anyone else lagging? Okay, let me just see here. Is that better? I hope. Yeah, I'm lagging. Tried Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm back. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. That may have been on my end. It's fixed now. Okay. Thanks so much for letting me know that, you guys. So just be gentle with yourself as you process what needs to be put down while you process that healing. And we're always all healing. You guys know how I feel about that. We're always all healing, right? We navigate through our healing at all times. So as you work through this, what do I want to carry into 2026? Love yourself through it. Where, even with the hard lessons, being able to be gentle with yourself. There is a big clearing energy. The universe is asking us, what don't you want to continue with in 2026? And it can be small things. It doesn't have to be the big things. It can be the small things. Being able, remember, we're here to learn. We're here to learn, in our human experience is that's why we signed up for it, is we're here to learn. Lean on your spirituality, lean on your higher self, lean on your spirit guides, lean on your loved ones over in the spirit dimensions. Allow yourself some space and grace. Sometimes we need that. We need to just say, I just need a red hot minute to breathe, space and grace, right? And lean on forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big one. It's and many of us struggle with that, whether it be forgiving ourselves, or working through situations that we just need to kind of let go and forgive and move forward from it. Whatever that means to you, this week feels huge. Huge. It's a huge week of it's that last final push I feel with this super moon that's coming in to let go. Let go and flow. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening to my spiel on the channeling this morning. I do hope that you find that it helps with your week ahead to kind of soften. Even myself, I will go back and I'll grab my sheet of paper and I'll say, what did I channel again? What advice did spirit give me again? So yeah, so let's jump in. Ooh, there's a lot of spirit guide activity around me. We got some life guidance stuff here. So let's scroll up to the top. I feel like some of you need some life guidance. Song Wolf 27's first question here. Does spirit have any messages for me, please? Um, Songwolf, I feel the softening. So I just feel like I just need to like it's like they're coming in to hold you. I feel like this softening. So I don't know if you've been really hard on yourself or if you're struggling to see the light on the other side of things. I feel like I just need to soften a little bit. I feel like it's almost like harvest time too for you. I feel like all the reaping the benefits of all the hard work you've been doing, life stuff, like that's the life stuff that I'm talking about there. I feel like I'm gonna allow the harvest to come in now. And this is I like how they're wording this for you, Songwolf. You don't have to pick things if it's not ripe yet. So sometimes we need to just let things grow a little bit more before we pick it. So just so I feel like you've been working really hard on either growing new things or starting new things and healing new things. And I feel like the harvest is coming in. And sometimes it doesn't come all in at once. So I feel like I just need to say soft, gentle, loving, kind energy that you need to surround yourself and your thoughts. And Lindsey Graham, congrats. That's great. Thank you, Miss Lindsay. It was a delicious, delicious weekend. Jeff Ramsos should be Fran there. Oh boy, what a morning. Halfway to work and forgot my computer. Had to backtrack. Beautiful sunrise though. Fran, well done looking back at what's beautiful around you. Sometimes and sometimes when we never know, sometimes those delays can be for a very significant reason. You may be like, oh darn it, I forgot my computer, I had to turn back. But that could be an energy. I always say thanks for that. So excuse me, sorry. That could just be a little bit of protection there, or giving you a little bit extra time to enjoy the sunrise. Wes, what do my guides have to say today? Wes, I think you're doing a really good job trusting. I feel like there's been some growth there with trusting. I feel like there has been a lot of stuff around you for a while that you don't always understand. And I feel like you're working really hard at that softening energy without having to necessarily push things along or not, the not seeking all the answers all the time. I feel like you're growing in patience, mister. I feel like patience has really been kind of like a bit of your learning path over the last several months and I feel like I need to say good job. Good job. Diane, does my guides have any messages for me? Diane, I feel like I need to allow yourself some space. It feels like a creative space, but it feels like more of a creative writing space. So I'm curious if you've been picking up a pen and paper and just allowing some journaling. Sometimes we need to release and for some of us writing is a really good way or doodling or words. I feel like I need to like write some intentions down or something that you want to release and kind of it kind of like feel that a little bit. Sometimes we need to write ourselves a letter or write out what's been kind of heavy lately or write out what's been going really well a thank you card to yourself for showing up all year. I don't know why, I just feel like I had to pick up a pen and just allowing some writing. Shy, oh, don't remind me about 2026 yet. I have done some channeling. I haven't done a lot of channeling for 2026, Shy, but it's going to be a lot of new beginnings and a lot of new energy flowing through, a lot of reset energies. And some of us will struggle with that. Those of you who may not like change, it's because I think we're going to be planted in a very different position. Live PL, I would love a message today. Um, I just wanted to give you a big hug there, my dear. Um, I need to remind you how loved you are. I know that sounds, like very generic, but I just got this overwhelming feeling. I just wanted to hug you and like make friends with you. Like let's go for tea and just kind of like love you, love you. I just want to love you. I also feel like that I love you is coming from the other side big time. And to really kind of, embrace yourself and a lot of that love or a lot of the loving feelings. Do what you love. Just there's all this love energy that's floating around there. But love ya is a big one, and it feels quite animated. I also feel father figure energy there. So dad, grandfather, someone like your dad with this huge love ya and this big smile. And they just want to smile and hold you tight and give you a big old squeeze. Spring, good morning, Lana. Glad to hear the hockey team did well. Are there any message regarding my trip to Florida? Spirit just pointed back at my sheet of paper there, Spring. I feel like this trip to Florida is going to be a lot of letting go energy. So as you're navigating through that trip, giving yourself some time to say, "I'm just gonna let this go." Whatever it is. It can be small, it can be big. And I also feel like I need to really work on the grounding energy there, Spring. So Florida, if you're going anywhere near the water, or the sand, being able to ground yourself in a little bit. Spring, I also feel this clearing in my throat, which is really interesting. And when I feel that, I feel like you're doing really well at speaking your truth. And I think Florida is going to bring you a little bit more of that sunshine in the throat chakra. So I know this is going to sound really funny, Spring, but anything that you can do to expose your throat to either sunlight or moonlight or the elements where you can just kind of like recharging that. Because I feel like your voice is really important right now. Maruna, any messages from my guides? Really need some support right now. Thank you. Maruna, I feel like I need so here's what I feel. Maruna, I feel like the support is there. I feel like I need to get you to grab it. So I feel like because like they're all circling around you really, really tight. So I feel like if you can practice, Marina, I'm gonna grab that support. I'm gonna grab that support. Sometimes, and I think we all do this, Marina, is sometimes it's there, but we don't grab it. We don't feel it. So giving yourself some time, moments matter. Closing your eyes. I'm going to feel the support all around me. I know I'm supported. I feel like I need to talk to that support system from the spiritual support system. I feel like I need to just say, okay, I know I'm supported. I also feel like I need to put my hand on a tree, like I'm reaching for a tree. So I feel like I need to put my hand on a tree to feel the stability and feel that strength around you. Sometimes, the visualization part doesn't necessarily work for all of us. So if you can go find a tree and just visualize that tree as a spirit guide and just feel how stable, how solid that is. You're surrounded by solid support, and I feel like I need to get you to reach for it now. Anna, good morning, beautiful Anna. Could you please Thank you, darling. Good morning to you, beautiful Anna. Could you please see if I have a message? I've been doing a lot of clearing and coming back to myself lately. Ooh, well done. So Anna, you're it sounds like you're ahead of the energy update. Yeah, I really good for you. Anna, I feel like I need to frolic in that a little bit more. I also feel like it's almost like I see your inner child too. Like, I just feel like when little kids like stickers and they get a sticker for a good job. The spirit's just kind of giving you that sticker, but in a very playful way. So I feel like if you can add a little bit of playful pleasure, ooh, those two P words sound good together. Playful pleasure now. So a little bit of that play and whatever play means to you, that self appreciation, that self acknowledgement. I feel like I need to play in that a little bit. Like, what you just described, Anna, is hard work. And I think you need to find the vibration of play in there and playing a little bit of that. Songwolf, I sure hope next year will be better for all of us. Me too. Yeah, it's a big reset coming. But fresh starts and new beginnings are always delicious. Add human experiences. Oh, I love that. I love that name. Good morning, Len. I finally got to be here with you today. I'm happy that you did. Welcome. After following for many months, thank you for what you do. Oh, bless you. Is there a message for me? I need to slow down my breathing. I feel like I just need to really enjoy that big breath in and really enjoy the exhale. I feel like there's this incredible amount of kindness around you. And I feel like I need to breathe that in for myself, like for yourself. I feel like I just need to acknowledge and I get it. We all balance that ego. And I feel like you do a really, really, really good job at that. But I feel like I need to take that big breath in that's all that energy that you give so freely to others. I feel like I need to breathe it in for myself too, or breathe it in a little bit deeper. I also feel like I need to dance. I just my hips were wanting to move, and believe me, I'm no dancer. I love to try, but I'm no dancer. So I've come. I think maybe perhaps you're holding some energy, pelvic area or lower back area. It feels energetic for me. I feel like that's probably a spot where you're holding some stuff. I just needed to like hula hoop my hips or whatever that dance is called, where you move your hips. You know that I don't know what it's called, but I feel like I just feel like I need to kind of like move that a little bit. Um, I also feel that and there's a whole bunch of seeds that you've planted. So I feel like that is like the seeds that you've planted is coming to me in more of like those manifesting seeds, those things that you've planted that you want to work on. I'm seeing a lot of little sprouts there, my friend. So I feel like there's some new things that are coming in, so there's some a lot of new growth there that's coming in. And I feel like I've got to just give you the words patience with growth. And I hear you on that one. I always want to go at warp speed too. And there's sometimes we just like slowing it down, and that's probably the slow breath in and out is and is allowing those things. Sometimes we want to chase or pull things before they're fully ready to bloom, right? I hear you on that. But I feel like I just need to breathe and enjoy the scenery. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like I just need to come in and enjoy the scenery for a bit. Diane, don't forget to hit. Oh, thank you, Diane, for reminding people to hit the like. I appreciate you guys. Mimi, do my guides have any messages for me? I feel this huge amount of goddess energy, like that, and it's a big vibration of divine feminine energy coming in to support. I feel like I need to kind of embrace myself a little bit in that. I also made me feel a lot of color around you. I'm seeing a lot of bright, brilliant color, blues, purples, pinks, reds, but very like almost like that neon bright. Surround yourself in a little bit of color. If you want to wear a different color or even like, putting on a video that's got some bright colors in it. Something with bright colors is and I just feel like this vibrant it's like there's a vibrant energy. Sometimes, and this is what I want to say here, Mimi. Sometimes we're surrounded by brightness and by growth and by spirit, and we don't lean in there. And sometimes we need a little bit of help. We got to help ourselves to lean in there. So I feel like surrounding yourselves in that space, in that divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy is very loving, very soft, very gentle, very passionate like that. And I wanted to put a emphasis on the P and passion. So if you can do anything that with that so passion filled and just like turn the volume up on it, get a colorful scarf and like just kind of like, allow yourself to have that sexy flow with right, just allowing that there's just that powerful energy. We do have to lean in on things sometimes, you guys. It's not always like really loud or showing itself because remember our spirit guides and energy, sometimes we don't always see it or feel it unless we intentionally slow it down or connect to it or allow it to flow more. We've got to participate. And that is a big one. We got to be able to participate in that, sitting with our spirit guides, sitting in a different vibration, sitting in that slow down mode. We've got to participate. And this comes up a lot with my clients, with my students, with friends. They'll be like, and I'll be like, what are you doing to match to feel it? What are you doing to match it? Do you sit in quiet? Do you take a moment to talk to your guides? Do you take a moment for that big P word, passion? Like, do you have a moment where you're just fully passionate about something, really simple? Like for me, you guys know me well enough by now. It's the moon for me and the forest for me. So I don't always get to the forest every single day, but when I do it with such passion. I really bring in the passion when I connect with something that recharges me, and moments matter. You guys know how I feel about that. So taking those moments to feeling your spirit guides. Like people always say to me, "Oh, I never get any messages from my spirit guides, or I don't feel them around me." And I always say to people, "Do you sit with them? Do you sit and take a moment?" And then people are like, Not really." And I'm like, increase your connection with them. And the more that you do that, the more that you'll feel them and the more moments you'll have with them and the more messages you'll receive. We are in a very fast-paced, busy world here. And they're with us through that. But in order for us to connect with them, we gotta take that moment to say, hey guys. Hey guys, right? It's just like, okay, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If you ever walk past someone, and they said, "Hey, how are you? Hey, Fran, how are you?" And they keep walking, and you don't even get a chance to answer. It's the same thing with our spirit guides. We need to stop and talk to them, right? So if somebody says, "Hey, Lana, how are you?" and they keep walking, I don't get a chance to answer them. They're not going to know how I'm doing. They may assume I'm doing great, but what if I'm not? And they just kept on going. Right. So we've got to stop and meet them. We've got to stop and sit with them. We've got to stop and feel it. We've got to stop and breathe. And I think that that is something for many of us that we've gotten away from because life is so busy. It's so chaotic. We blend them in with other energies. But when we take that moment to say, all right, you guys, I'm just gonna sit with my spirit guides and just feel them or talk to them or hold their hand or whatever that it is that you feel like you need to do. But we just simply, and I know I say this all the time, like walking to your car, can you hear a bird singing? Right? Can you open the door and let your spirit guides in? Those little things. It doesn't take a lot of time. It just needs a little bit of training on a moment to acknowledge the spirit dimensions or the magic that's all around you. It doesn't have to be the spirit dimensions. The magic of a bird singing. Like think about that. Think about the magic of that. That bird has a little song in his head that he's singing for you while you walk to your car. Right? So it's the same thing. Like I have, like the crows were out this morning, so I brought some peanuts and tossed to them, and they were making all their crow sounds. And I just stood there for like a second and thought, oh, what are they talking about? Right? I just one moment. That's all that it takes is these one moments to connect. It's absolutely delicious. Speaking of delicious, so is this tea. It's my second last tea bag that I brought back from Ireland. It's a delicious strawberry tea bag. I'm gonna have to order some more or go back to Ireland, whatever seems easier. Shy, oh, the emotional part have been already. My girlfriend was crying her eyes out earlier. She was healing though. Yeah, the emotions are gonna be amplified this week. Hold space for yourself and hold space for others. Yeah, it's gonna be really sleep issues. Just got my sleep schedule straight. So it doesn't mean that you're going to experience it, but some of us will. So some of the things that I say you may not go through, but some of us are gonna have that restless sleep energy, and it's going to be pouring in from that full moon. River Grant, morning all. Do my spirit guides have any advice for me on steps towards my goals or moving to Scotland? I will meet you there, darling. In pursuing art, Scotland's on my list. I was just talking to Kim last week about my admin Kim. For those of you who don't know Kim, I was just talking to her last week about Scotland, so maybe I'll meet you there, River. Um, I feel delicious. I also just literally as soon as I read that about pursuing your art, my shoulders dropped. It was almost like like I'm finally getting there. It's finally feeling it's finally feeling like I'm on the going in the head in the direction. I also feel River Grant, if I could just turn the volume up a little bit on, yes, it's going to take a bit of a leap of faith, but I also want to turn up the volume a little bit on the manifesting of it. I just want to like listen to Scottish music, visualize yourself there, close your eyes and think about the energy. Like I feel like I want to like really turn the volume up on that. It feels really, really good to me. And it is going to come with a leap of faith. Any big move, of course, does. But I feel like and I just got planted in your intuition. I feel like you know this. I feel like, yes, there's a lot of floating energy around it. Am I making the right decision? What if it doesn't work out? All of that normal stuff. But I feel like when I just went to your intuition, I'm sitting in there and it's like, this is the path. This is where I want to be. This is where I need to be. This is where I'm going. And I feel like I just have to trust the when. I always allow when I struggle, like and I do too, with the whens. I've got some pretty big things that I've asked spirit for. But when and I follow the stepping stones and I make sure that I trust any kind of resistance. So if I try to push through something and the door isn't quite open yet, I don't necessarily feel it or lean into the door is permanently closed. I go into right now, it's not opening yet. I'll try turning that knob again. But I don't push and force. Manifest, work at, but as soon as I hit resistance, I go with okay, not quite yet. I'm gonna trust it. I keep working at it, but I don't necessarily try to body check the door open. So River, I feel like I need to kind of like keep keep pushing. And sometimes the steps will be forward, and sometimes it'll be a bit of a pause. But I don't feel it's that far off, to be honest with you. I don't feel it's that far off. I feel like I might be able to connect with you when I go, and I'm going there probably, hopefully, 2027 ish. So, yeah. Uh, Bianca, oh my God, Len, I just had a set of boundaries with a male friend who I felt was being manipulative and inappropriate. But it's gonna Bianca, it's gonna be the week of boundaries. It's gonna come up. I think it's gonna be a month. I feel this full moon being a super moon in Gemini, by the way, and it's also a Mercury. Or Mercury's the leader or the leader of this full moon, I believe. I've It's gonna be a lot of boundaries. Talia, the goddess of happiness here. Hello, dear. Any messages for me? I feel I need something. I feel like I need a rest. I feel like I need to take, I feel like, those moments matter. I feel like I need to take a few extra moments. I feel like my, when seeing it as feet that are running, but aren't necessarily on the ground. So I don't know if you feel like you're not going anywhere. I feel like I just need to take a few extra moments to kind of, reassess, reevaluate, breathe a little. I feel like I'm not gaining traction, and I feel like I'm not gaining traction on something or a few things because I'm just not taking the moment to feel it, to ground it, to work through it, to breathe it. I hope that makes sense there for you guys. I'm ahead of the sleep issue, says Elf Frog. Yeah. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes with these full moons, my sleep can be a little bit rough. So I will try and preserve my energy if I'm feeling that. So far I haven't felt it with the energy coming in, but the moon is until the 4th. So I was also really tired from this hockey tournament, but so I slept really well last night. But support yourself. When we're affected by energy, we need to support ourselves. If you're not sleeping, can you eat better? Can you exercise more? Can you breathe a little bit? Where can you adjust your spiritual practices? All right, a few more guys, because time is a ticking. Fran, Audrey, and myself have been goofy and laughing more. Just silliness, a welcome change. Oh, Fran, I love that. I love that. Frolic in it as much as you can, and as long as you can. That fun energy is the other side of the heavy, right? Being able to frolic in it now. I love that. It's also a very, very playful. When you think about the energy that's coming through in December. Yes, there's a lot of hard times. I hear you. And a lot of us have had, extremely difficult, times or childhoods or past, but the magic is also fresh all the time. Right. So there is a magic coming in December. It can be, and sometimes like I'll look at the snow. So there's some snow on the ground here. How can you look at it? You can make snow angels or complain. I'm going to make snow angels. Yes, I'll complain about it later, but I'm gonna frolic in it a little bit more. The magic, the twinkling of Christmas lights, or whatever brings you magic, whatever it is that magic means to you. Can you frolic in it a little bit? Right? Can you play in this month, in this season? Can you find something that resonates with you? Doesn't have to be Christmas related. It can be whatever resonates with you. Can you bring some of that magic in? Can you lean in there a little bit more? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Lindsay, Ilana, hard week, weird dreams, and taking Allie to the vet again today. Do my guides have any messages? I just had to really take a big breath in there, Lindsay. Mainly because I know that you've been going through a lot. So I am aware of what you've been going through. I feel like I need to say to you, Lindsay, you're doing a really good job. You're doing a really good job being a pet parent. You're doing a really good job supporting yourself. You're doing a really good job with allowing your emotions to flow. I feel like you've been allowing allowing all the emotions. The heavy, the worry. I feel like you're doing a really good job. We have to go through these things, and how we go through these things is really important. And I feel like you haven't bottled up a whole lot. Do you feel tired and exhausted from what you've been through? Absolutely. I feel like that is some of the weird dream part. Sometimes our dreams is all we're processing what we've been through in our physical world too. And I feel like your dream time, you're trying to let go and heal. And sometimes it gets a little bit, weird in that space. I don't feel like the dreams have a significant meaning. I feel like it's more of the physical stuff, that your physical world stuff that you're processing. We process when we're sleeping. right? So, but I feel like the message from your guides is you are doing such a really good job with all of this. It's been a lot, and you've been navigating it from a really, really, really good, healthy way, with all this hard stuff. So good for you, Lindsay. Okay, you guys. I do have to kind of. Hi, Lana, you're awesome. I saw an angel while I was sleeping, and someone touched my knees, and I woke up. Oh, I love that for you. Mel, good morning to you, Leonard, and everyone. Hope all is well. Beautiful day. Thank you, Miss Mel. Maroon, if you celebrate Christmas, maybe give your Christmas tree a hug. That is a really good idea. What a good idea. I love, you know what? I know I say this all the time, but it's true. I love this channel. I love the people that I love all of you and the support that you give and all of the love that you share so freely in comment and helping each other. Maruna, thank you, Len. I always resonate so much with what you say. I'll definitely find a tree. Look at you guys. Hey, Lana, this is Love Tal 8903. Hi, Lana. Are there any messages from my guides? I've just freshly cut off contact with my ex when I took my cat back Saturday, and I've been in a funky mood. All right, this comes into the relationship stuff and the boundary stuff and the healing stuff. I feel like I need to, number one, I need to process. Cutting off contacts and moving forward out of a relationship is some healing energy, and it's going to take some time. Parts of letting go goes is easy, and parts of letting go is hard. And I feel like I just need to, like you need to support yourself, and you need to, I feel like I need to do some more practicing of letting go. And I always look at, for me, this is a me thing. I always look at both sides of relationships. I'm sure there was pieces of it that were good. I'm grateful for that. I'm sure there were pieces that were hard. Grateful for the learning. If there are pieces that, like that brought you some forward momentum and pieces that brought you some backward momentum. And I feel like sometimes we've got to kind of like pick away at some of those pieces. And it comes back into, like I said, what was those words? Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others and allowing closure. So as you navigate through that, do it in a very loving, gentle way for yourself. Okay, you guys, I've hit the 9:05 time here. Um, Lindsay, thank you. I've been trying really hard to just let the emotions flow. You're doing a really good job. River Grant, nice at Ray. My ancestors have been calling me there a long time, and my husband's ancestors and Scottish family as well. Ooh, I love that. I love that. You'll have to keep in touch with me at River, because if I end up there in 2027 and you're there, Scotland's not that big. I'm sure we can find each other. I really want to do an Ireland retreat or a Scottish retreat in 2027. So that's why that's what Kim and I were kind of talking about. Let's grab an angel number for the week. What do we need to know from our angels? What do we got? 422. This is a strong message from the angels asking you to trust, believe, and have faith that your prayers are being answered because they are. That's delicious. Let's do another one. I do love the angel numbers. I love reading them. I love pulling them. I love it so much. Oh, and Kayla's joined the chat. Hello, beauty. 244. You are surrounded by powerful angels who love you unconditionally. There is nothing to fear. I love the word unconditionally or unconditional. I love that word. And our angels and guides do. Our angels and guides know that we're learning. They know that we trip. They know that we struggle. They love us through all of that. It's only love and support from our angels and guides. And I love that so much. Let's grab a spirit animal. Okay, this is where I'm gonna let you guys totally take over. What do we need to know? You know what? Ask for a personal message to you guys as well. We'll go collective naturally, but ask, what do I need? What do you need? Ask for that. And only one sentence or one word has to resonate. The whole thing doesn't have to resonate with you, but ask that. What do you need? What do you need for the week? Donkey. I love donkeys. Sorry. I love donkey. Um, Dominic the Christmas Donkey is now playing in my head. Thank you, Spirit Animal Book. Volunteer and give your time and physical energy to a service organization that's compatible with your philosophy and beliefs. Listen to and respect your intuition, particularly when it comes to doing something that has potential risks. Take your time and proceed cautiously and slowly, but keep on moving ahead, pausing only to determine the best direction to go toward your destination. The more you express and honor your inner truth, the more recognition and acknowledgement you'll receive. You guys did a really good job asking for a message because this is a really good one, and some of it has a lot of what we talked about here in the live. I like that. The more you express and honor your inner truth, the more recognition and acknowledgement you'll receive. Our inner truth is so, so important. River, I was thinking about volunteering when I do move as a way of giving to my new community and connecting to it. I love this message. I really do. Listen to, and well, this is important. I just got goosebumps. Oh, listen to and respect your intuition, particularly when it comes to doing something that has potential risks. So, those big changes, those knee-jerk reactions, taking that moment to pause and I talk about this all the time, and sometimes I even wonder if if I talk about it too much because I repeat it a lot. When we take a moment, sit with it, pause, ask ourselves, ask our guides. When we sit with it, we get that feeling, right? Intuition is so, so important. So important and to respect our intuition. I just want to take another minute. I know I'm over time and I'm but I'm just gonna trust this. What was I gonna say? Well, okay, respect. When we respect how we feel, so our intuition, it's not just about the yes or no answers. It's also about how we feel about something. And when we respect that, I'm gonna respect my intuition muscle is saying, no, Lana, you don't overextend yourself. You need to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that today. I'm gonna respect that. I'm not gonna judge it. I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna, go against it. I'm just gonna trust it. I'm gonna respect it. Respecting what your intuition has to say. I love that. I love the wording on it. I'm gonna respect my intuition. It's intuition 101, good feels good, bad feels bad. I'm gonna respect how that feels. Ooh, it's been a delicious live. Yep, honoring my inner truth this week. Yeah, right. Respect or honoring it. A great another word. Another great word there, Spring. Thank you. And to be able to honor how you're feeling. Right. I'm gonna respect that. I'm just gonna. And again, moments matter, right? It's, to be able to slow down, to be able to breathe, to be able to listen to the birds singing while you walk to your car, to be able to let go, to be able to work on you, to respect and honor that. Mm. I'm really grateful for that message because, it reminds me of a different perspective too, and you know what? I also love how it's worded because you can really say to people, I just need to respect my inner truth right now." Like, respect is a big word, right? Or honor is another one, right? When you think about that, like, I need to honor or respect that I can't do that. I think we were just given like a beautiful new perspective on how to say it because so many of you and myself included once in a while, we lean into that self guilt for not being enough for other people or not being able to cope with it all or not being able for whatever reason. I'm going to respect myself to give myself a chance to breathe. Great. This was a great life. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I truly love you guys. I love this channel. I love just showing up and hanging out. I love the support that you give each other. I love that. I love that you chime in. I love it. Olivia, thank you, Len. I certainly needed that reminder, feeling like my efforts are not appreciated at home right now. Sometimes it feels like that, doesn't it? It does, and I feel sometimes, we have to look at other ways on how people show their love language to us. And sometimes we need to speak our truth on how we're feeling. And sometimes we need to say, you know what, like I know you love me, but I just don't feel any of that appreciation. Sometimes well, Olivia, I almost signed off, and then your message just kind of grabbed me. Sometimes we need to ask. Sometimes we need to share. This is how I feel. Because I also feel that, especially, in this situation too, Olivia, it doesn't always have to be an intentional, disrespectful things. Sometimes people need to be reminded on how to treat us because sometimes they just simply get caught up in their own stuff. Right? That's a big throat chakra one. And how many of you can put your hand up to that? Sometimes, even sometimes even yourself, like sometimes this can be a mirror reflection too. Sometimes sometimes we're the problem, right? We didn't take long. We just didn't, pause or feel or realize that we weren't honoring how what somebody else may need or feel too. Sometimes it's us. I always kind of look both ways on that. I think it's so important to look both ways on that too. But sometimes people just get caught up or forget their thank yous or forget, and they need a loving reminder and a gentle and a gentle nudge to say, hey, I've been working really hard here for you, right? And sometimes we need to look at other ways that people are showing it, right? Like that I love you, or that they may trying in their own way, but sometimes people need to be taught how to treat us or what we need. Sometimes people don't get what we need. And it can be just a simple lack of awareness. Right? Sometimes I mean that. Like sometimes people just are not aware of it. Like how many times even for yourself have somebody said something to you and you were like, I really didn't mean it to be that come out that way, or I really didn't mean it to affect you that way. They were missing that piece of awareness. So I'd like to give people a little bit of grace, but I think sometimes gently. Yeah, I think we need to sometimes, and it goes both ways. So, the arrow comes back to us too. Sometimes we need to kind of be that gentle reminder of self-awareness too, right? So, you know, um, it's a balance, and it's about speaking our truth, and it's about being able to have, and I like to say, like, like these conversations, spiritual conversations are open and honest communication, and I like to teach people, to put down the defense mechanisms. Doesn't have to be a battle. Can we just not talk? Can we just talk? Can we just talk about it? Can we just share without it being a battle? Like it's not, we don't have to be defensive. We don't have to lean into ego. We can just simply say, this is how I'm feeling. And the other person can say, I wasn't aware of that. Like I just wasn't in a space. I wasn't aware of that. A lot of the times it's not even intentional. Mel, I'm not sure if it's my intuition or something else, but I've been feeling complete fear of making a mistake. It's getting louder each day. I have to separate from intuition and just noise in my head. Yeah, and I think, Mel, the more that we connect to our intuition, the physical world takes its toll on us. Like when you think about that, Mel, a little bit of programming in there too. Think about think about when you were in school, the measuring stick of a good grade, right? And depending on your situation, success was measured by a grade. But if your very best was 50 or 40, and that was your very best, and there was always a consequence to making a mistake. Change the mistake to learning. I'm learning right now. Mel, you're gonna make mistakes. I am making we're all making mistakes. We're all navigating, but sometimes it's just fear. And sometimes that fear can be poking us to let go of some old programming. Right? I've been very careful with the people around me, especially when it comes to testing or learning, whether it be in school or sports or at home. If somebody makes a mistake, I'm careful about the words that I choose. I tend to go along, what are you learning? How can we improve it? What can I do to support you? Right? Like, so I'm careful because sometimes, the learning something is teaching us something. Right? So now try changing the mistake to I'm learning too. And I know you know all this, Mel. You're beautiful. You're so beautiful and spiritual. But just I know sometimes it can be poking at us, and I feel like this is poking at something to maybe let go of from past experiences. Because we all have, our past experiences do poke its head up. And sometimes, Mel, I'm not sure when you jumped in on the live, but this moon is in this energy for December is going to be a lot about releasing and letting go of what you don't want to take into the new year, and maybe some of the past programming needs to kind of like be released and let go. This is a really big conversation, and I love it, and I'm pushing my timeline as far as I can. But when you think about that though, right? Sometimes, that fear can be showing us on what we need to let go, and it can be an old thing. It can be an old thing. And I'm also gentle with myself when it comes to learning. And what if this doesn't work? And if it doesn't, how I look at it, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For example, if I post a workshop and nobody signs up for it, I don't judge that. I just say it wasn't time for that workshop, whatever the reason. I don't know. Wasn't time for that workshop. Was it a mistake posting it? No. Do I have to worry about it? No. I know it's a small example, but it's just about, I don't judge. I try not to judge anything, right? So, just kind of allowing that space there, you guys. What am I learning? Okay, I've pushed it right to the end. Have a wonderful spirit guided week, you guys. I love you.